this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again. 10:10 a.m. on a Saturday, 50 degrees outside, and raining. It's gonna rain. Yeah, forecast for rain for quite a few days coming up. April showers bring May flowers. Who made that up? Well, yeah, it's raining. So anyway, I was thinking about when is the next time we're able to get out on an actual e-bike ride. Well, I had been able to do some because of the reviews that I had to do, right? So I had been able to do some. I got to do testing all the time first. I test a little bit first, then I do my reviews. So at least I have ridden this year already, but it doesn't look good for the next several, I don't know, it could be a week or two even. Yeah, I still have one more review bike to still do. I'm getting nervous about that because we do have a time crunch to get it done, and it's gonna rain on me. I really don't know what is the best way to deal with it. It may force me to do an inside review and then do a quick ride outside. You know, so intro in the inside and a ride outside. I don't know. I really hope that does not happen, but it may force me to do that. We'll see. So stay tuned for that. All right. So recently I was over at Sam Psycho, who is a local e-bike dealer in our area. And yeah, when I walked in, yeah, one of our viewers were there. He goes, "I know this guy." You know, whenever that happens, I'm always like, how do I know this guy? Yeah, he watches Russ is Right. He goes, yeah, I watched your videos and I started noticing. He goes, yeah, I know this area. I know that place. I know. Yeah, so he kind of figured out, yeah, this guy's local. So he ran into me. We had a good talk. He was telling me that he rides a scooter, but he also has a Himiway Big Dog. The Big Dog is kind of the predecessor of like what a D5 2.0 20-inch bike would be, but bigger, he said. He says it's slightly bigger, but he looked at the D5 and he said, wow, this one looks like it's better. Yeah, let's hope it is better. You know, if you got subsequent models later in the years, let's hope they get better. Yeah, I told him, it says, you know, this is a dual suspension and, you know, it's going to be a big seller for Himiway. I already know that. So, so we talked for a little bit. He was telling me that he was riding a scooter, and I mentioned to him, you know, that we're kind of limited to 20 miles per hour in our general area. He didn't know that. Yeah, he says he rides a scooter faster than that. And he says, I passed by the cops, I waved to them, and they don't seem to mind. I go, well, they're probably not concentrating right now on giving you a ticket about it. But yeah, I says, be careful because our area has put a limitation of 20 miles per hour on scooters and e-bikes, and you have to ride the streets. I believe he does ride the streets. I mean, if he's doing like 40 miles an hour, he was telling me he was keeping up with the cars. If he's doing that fast, he's got to be on the street, of course. So I says, yeah, be careful, you know, ride carefully, and you know, be aware that we do have a 20 mile per hour limit in our area. So because of this limitation, I think I mentioned already, if I didn't mention it here, I mentioned it on my other, the More From Russ channel, which is back up and running again for those who don't know. Go to More From Russ for other topics besides e-bikes. Sometimes e-bikes too. So anyways, I did mention that in our areas, because we're so speed limited now, if you want to stay within the law, I've been turning down bikes that have been more powerful. Yeah, more powerful. And it feels bad to do that, but realistically speaking, I can't even ride and test these bikes at that speed anymore. So I made the decision that, you know, if it's a certain power level where it's way past, we're talking like the 40, 50, 60 mile an hour bikes, I won't be reviewing those, just so that you know, right? I mean, really, as much as I like speed as the next guy, I also have to be cognizant of what our area will allow us to do. The worst case is that I get on the radar with the local police officers, because they'll see me all throughout the summer and winter, the summer and fall and late spring months riding. I can't be on their radar because that'll be bad news for me riding. So yeah, and I also know too that, you know, I originally got into all this to fix my knee, as all you guys know, and so a more traditional bike where we're pedaling is actually more suited for why I even got into e-biking in the first place. So yeah, you won't see moped style bikes from me. You won't see the e-moto type of things. You won't see the super powerful bikes from me going forward. It's just really something our area won't allow. And so I said, well, to stay within the spirit of the law, let's just kind of restrict ourselves to certain types of bikes. Now, having said that too, comments have been made about e-trikes. It says we're going to talk about all the things I'm not riding. Yeah, the e-trikes and me don't get along too well. As you know, that was the first major fall I had was off of an e-trike. But again, that's because I was up on that hill and it's wider, and you know there was the sidewalk I was on going up a hill. It kind of how should I put it? Had like a 6-inch drop between the sidewalk and the ground, and when the rear wheel kind of fell off into that side, it bounced me off of it when I tried to get back on to the sidewalk. So, but besides that, I don't typically ride trikes. I'm more of a bike guy than a trike guy. So I decided that going forward, I probably will not be riding too many trikes going forward. Now, having said that, will certain trikes be reviewed if offered to me? I think if offered to me from some of the companies I've already worked with before and they need my help for that, I may take one or two in for that. But as far as like new e-trike companies, probably not. Yeah, you probably won't see that from me. It's just something that you have to know yourself. You have to know what you're able to do and what you're not able to do or not willing to do. And I think the e-trikes is one of those categories. Now, that doesn't mean down the road, if as I'm getting older and I can't ride an e-bike, I may switch to an e-trike down the road. But at this point, I'm 67 right now. I'm still capable and able to ride an e-bike with no problem. So I hope to remain that way throughout my life. But you know, eventually, you know, as you get older and older and older, you might not be able to do that. So we'll shift as we go. I mean, that's the name of the game for, I think, anybody who rides some type of bike or trike thing. You know, I mean, even think about this: motorcycle guys are now riding e-bikes. Yeah, because they kind of realize I'm of the age, or maybe my physical thing is limiting me, where riding a motorcycle is something I can't continue to do. They've shifted to e-bikes. Yeah. Or e-moto bikes or any of those type of bikes, right? But they've shifted to another style. In time, maybe I'd be shifting to a trike as I get older. I don't know. I hope not. I really don't. I really prefer to ride a two-wheel vehicle, but we'll see. But for now, this year, you probably won't see that. Now, a couple of companies have contacted me last year asking if I would be willing to do it. And I said, let's push it off till spring, and we'll revisit it at that point. But I think if they came back to me now and asked me, I would just explain to them what I just explained to you. It just doesn't suit me. I don't do it. Several of the e-moto style bikes have, if you don't know what that means, it's the bikes that kind of look like mopeds, right? You know, it's like a bench type seat that's not adjustable. A lot of those bikes aren't really designed to pedal, even though they have pedals. You can't get a full leg extension on those type of bikes, okay? Because you can't raise the seat, right? So those companies have contacted me, and I've outright refused them. And yeah, you won't see that from me. Yeah, that one I can tell you right now, you will probably never see that from me. Yeah, I think if it got to the point where I had to ride that instead of my standard bikes where I have a pretty full leg extension. If I got to shrink down to that, I may go to a trike at that point. So we'll see. You know, you gotta do what you can do, and that's always been my my motto. You know, you can't do things that are not you. Yeah. First off, it doesn't come out as genuine, and I don't enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, I don't want to review it. Yeah. So I have to enjoy it, otherwise I don't want to take that category on. So anyway, put a comment in the description, the description in the comment section, and tell me, you know, what your thoughts are about this. If you're okay with that, whether you're okay or not, this is what's going to happen. Okay, I'm not going to be forced into something that I can't do, and or don't want to do, as you know. And let me know what your thoughts are as you age going forward, especially you guys who are my age or older. You know, I'm 67 now. Do you find it that you cannot do certain things anymore that you had been doing before? And have you resigned to the point that it's just said, okay, that's it, I can't do that, so I'm going to do something else? Let me know what your thoughts on that is, okay? If you look at the description of this channel, I mentioned that, you know, I you know, was fixing my knee and then got into e-bikes. And if you read the description of the More from Russ channel, it says, yeah, in my retired life, these are the things that I'm interested in talking about and that kind of thing. Yeah, as you get older, you start realizing, you know, you can't do everything you used to do. Or at least you can't do everything you used to do as well as you used to do it. Hey, that sounds pretty good. So let me know what your thoughts are on that, and have you noticed for yourself, had you had to make changes because of your limitations due to age and other things like that? Yeah, let me know. I am curious about that, so put a comment concerning that, all right? Okay, that's about all I have for you guys for today. I hope you guys have a happy Easter. We did go to church on Friday, and I hadn't gone to church in over probably a month and a half. Well, I went one time, and then I got sick again, and then I stopped going again. I think I did have a double virus. I don't know. I talked to my doctor about it, or my nurse practitioner, and she says, yeah, it's possible. You could have had a second virus, because it was a long time. It was a month and a half, you know, trying to get better. And so we did go on Good Friday, which was yesterday, and then tomorrow being Easter, we will go again, and we'll go out for lunch and everything, all that stuff. So hope you guys have a happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. And I don't know when this video will come out. It'll either come out on Easter or on Monday, maybe Monday. We'll see. Anyways, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time.